Hey, Parkview, welcome back to the new season podcast. This is Josh again, hosting one of our pastors here at Parkview, and I'm here today with Carlos and Allison, two of our pastors. We get to meet them today. This is one of our segments we've been doing a few times, which is Meet the Pastor. So today we get to meet Carlos and Allison. How are you guys doing?
Feeling great.
Me too. It's Thursday. Jueves.
Yeah, okay.
It's
so
Jueves.
Spanish opportunities here. Is this your first time on a podcast? Have you guys ever been on any kind of podcast before?
This is my second time on a podcast, but it still feels like the first time.
What was the first one you were on?
I did a podcast with my friend Greg Armstrong.
What'd you talk about?
We talked about race and church.
Okay. This one will be a little more lighthearted.
Let's go.
The get to know you segment might not. I'm sure you did a great job. Okay. Allison, have you ever been on one of these?
Nope.
Okay. Are you excited?
So excited.
That's great. It would have been weird if you answered differently.
You feel like you're a natural at this. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm a natural at everything.
Well, I'm going to go ahead.
Dang.
Well, I just want to call it out a little bit because I was a little hurt yesterday. I tried to talk to you guys about this on the text thread. I was like, we're getting ready. And I got a little rolling eyes emoji from Carlos about the podcast. And I was like, dude, why you got
No, it was no rolling eye emoji. Listen, yesterday.
Oh, no, there was.
Okay.
It's a fact.
Literally was a
Subjective.
rolling eye.
Yeah, but
Not receipts.
in Spanish, it means something different. So that's why it means like I'm ready. Just kidding. It does not. It does not. It does not. No.
I don't know what it is. We can stop.
It doesn't.
I only took 3 semesters of Spanish. We didn't cover emojis.
All good, all good.
So I'm.
No.
Let's move on.
It's all good. You just caught me at a bad moment yesterday. That was it. Just full transparency. It was just a bad moment.
I
But
know.
I'm excited.
I know you're pumped to be here, man. Okay, so our goal today is just to get to know you guys. I know a lot of our people. You've both been here a while. Allison, you've been here forever. But some people have, they're here on Sunday, but they don't get to really know all of our team. And so this is what these kind of Meet the Pastors episodes are for. So let me start with my first question for you guys. I'd love for you each to answer this one. And we just want to know, how did you get here? All right. So share your job title. That'd be helpful. But also just what brought you to this role at Parkview, 10,000-foot view. So anyone prefer to start?
Ladies first.
Oh, let's go. All right, Allison, let's go, AG.
I am the community development pastor here. And about 17 years ago, I was graduating college. And I thought I wanted to help coordinate and plan mission trips for a church that I grew up in.
Yeah.
But while I was in college, I was volunteering with my youth ministry. I'd come home for retreats. And then when I was done, I would volunteer in Sunday school. And I just love students. And I worked for 6 months in an office job, and it was awful. I remember during the summer looking outside, I just want to go be out there.
That's awesome.
And so when I first started at Parkview, we had 2 people running high school and middle school together. And one was a girl position, one was a boy position. And I would care for the girl leaders and the girls in the program, and the boy would do the boy leaders and the gentlemen in the program. And I loved it. Yeah. And then they just can't get rid of me.
17 years.
Because what brought you, you were in student ministries, and when I came, you were kind of in the middle of making a shift.
Yeah.
Right? And that was 12 years ago now. So what was the shift from there from students? And you're still working with students, but there was a change. And what was that? Tell me about what spawned that.
I have a heart for kids in hard places. And in student ministries at Parkview, you get it here and there.
Yeah.
But in Villa Park, and what we started off doing in Villa Park, that's all that we really worked with, were kids on the fringes and in families in hard places. And so that is just where my heart was at, and it still is there. And so I transitioned about 12 years ago. Love
that. So you were, at the end of the day, you started, as many do, as a youth pastor.
Yep.
What was the most, there's a lot of good youth pastor questions here, but what was the most rewarding part when you were in youth ministry, but what was the most stressful part?
The most stressful part is we had partners, so we did stuff together, but the details, when it's neither of your strong suits, there are some times that it's a bummer. One time I had some interns, and we were going to the dunes, and I went to the Gary, Indiana, the dunes, and apparently that's no bueno.
No bueno. That's not the Michigan one.
And I was just closer, and so I was like, "Oh, this will be fine." Not fine.
Totally different.
The kids had fun though, for sure.
As someone who goes to the Michigan dunes, it is so superior.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure.
getting a beach experience in the Midwest, the Michigan Dunes are about as close as you can get to like Miami.
Isn't that a lake though? Like it's not really. You say in the beach.
You
It's-
can't see.
But it's like a beach. It's like a big
Okay.
beach. If you closed your eyes and opened them, you might think you're like on the coast.
Is the ocean somewhere?
No,
Okay,
it's,
I got
it's
you.
not salt water.
No, but that's why I just said that. I
It's a
said
lake.
it was the closest thing.
I got you, I got you, I
all right?
got you.
I thought I prefaced this,
got
guys.
you.
The point is, don't take kids to Indiana. What are you doing?
Oh my god!
All right.
No offense to anybody from Indiana. Okay, right.
But I mean, that's awesome. So we're gonna get to know more about your position in a minute. So Carlos, tell us a little bit. How'd you get here, man?
Well, I did not start in youth ministry. It feels like every pastor starts with youth ministry, but no, I did not. I've had a passion for worship, specifically like musical worship for a very long time, and I was a worship pastor in Georgia, in Southeast Georgia, and the way that I got here was honestly a God thing. At that time, my family and I were looking to leave Georgia after 4 years of ministry there. And we were praying to figure out where we were going to go. But we didn't know it was in the middle of COVID. So this was 2020. So nobody's hiring because everything is shut down. So people are just doing pre-recording and stuff. But honestly, we just kept praying. We were thinking about originally going back to Ohio because that's where we are. We went from Ohio to Georgia, and we were just praying, God, show us where we need to go. We know that we needed to leave. And out of nowhere, I got an email in my inbox, in my Gmail, that said, hey, my name is so-and-so, and you should consider coming to Parkview. I did not know that my resume was live somewhere.
Who's so-and-so?
That will remain a secret.
Wow.
I've never looked at Parkview, never been to Illinois, didn't know anything about the church. I literally just got an email saying, hey, you should consider talking about coming to Parkview.
I don't remember this.
Does that person go to Parkview?
That is the amazing
Stop
person.
trying to fish out.
No,
the
that's the amazing
information.
person. That's the
man wanted
amazing
to
thing.
Keep it private.
That's the amazing thing. This person doesn't even attend Parkview, but was connected, and he knew that they were looking for somebody. But again, I didn't even know that my resume was live. I didn't apply here. I didn't contact anybody. An email just showed up, and that started the conversation.
That's wild.
And through the conversations with Ray and Dave at a time, and then talking to Andy and Christina, I got excited about potentially being here, and been here a little over 5 years now. So.
And your first service, I believe, was Christmas Eve.
Goodness gracious!
We thought we lost you.
Let me tell you about
lost
this.
You day
Because I almost quit.
Your first service was Christmas Eve, outdoors, COVID style.
Yes.
It was negative something, right?
Oh, it was
bad.
Yes,
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah,
and he had nothing.
So again, COVID. We're not even in the office. So everybody is on Zoom, and we're having my first staff meeting on Zoom. So we have I don't even know how many little squares or whatever in the computer. So they started talking, hey, we're going to have our first, in-person service, and it's going to be outside. And I'm looking at the little boxes to see who's going to laugh first, because I'm thinking, this is a joke. You are trying to get the new guy who just literally came here December 1st of 2020 from Southeast Georgia, where it's hot all the time. I mean, it is scorching hot. You're trying to play a joke on me and say we're going to have an outdoor service here in Illinois. It was crazy. I thought it was legit a joke until people were like, yeah, no, that we're for real. We had 3 services that day.
Yep. We had three
services, 3 outdoor services, and
it was cold.
There was
really
no
bad.
tent, no nothing. It was literally out in the wide open.
Weren't iPads shutting down and stuff?
iPads shutting down, negative degrees. It started snowing in the second service.
And the candles wouldn't light.
No, oh my gosh, I've never been so cold in my life. I literally asked the Lord, God, where have you brought me to?
And you didn't really have gear, if I remember. I think we gave you gloves. Didn't we? It's not like you, just friends.
No.
We were dude, you need a pair of gloves.
I had no coat, no gloves, no nothing. So,
and it was it was even for Illinois, it was very cold.
But y'all are lucky that God has kept us here. No.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so that brought you here, and then what I think would be helpful to hear from both of you is just like, what do you do here? So in your roles, we know what brought you here, but what do your roles, mean exactly? You've talked a little bit about it. So Allison, for you, like community development pastor, which I think is, when did we actually use that title? Because it's been a couple things over years.
Yeah, a long time. I have no idea.
So what do you do? Like what's a typical week look like for you? And I know your summer is about to look very different, but
yeah. So I empower volunteers to invest in the north side of Villa Park currently, and that looks like we work with 3 different schools and then a church that we partner with and use their space. So we have people that read with students. We have people that run lunch groups or affinity groups. At the middle school, we have people that run after-school clubs. We do Spanish Bible studies and Spanish family programs and a kids program, all in the north side of Villa Park. And there's volunteers that rally around it and that love it and that own all of that stuff, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, you've always been incredible at like seeing a need and then just for me, I feel like I'm someone who has to like have all my ducks lined up and think it through. And one thing you've taught me is like, just like sometimes you just got to move, and you're really good at like rallying people to something that's a need and then figuring it out as you go. Like you can do both. How do you decide? You have so many programs, you have so many things that you're helping with and they change, right? So like, how do you work with the school to decide what they need and stuff? How's that even work?
Yeah, I actually just had a meeting yesterday with one of the schools, and we kind of go through of like what worked last year, what didn't work, and then their like list of wants. And I just, I've been doing this for 12, 13 years, and so I just kind of know what we can do and what we can't do. I do love the ability to ask what is the need and how can we help, and then try and figure it out. And I am like this is like 60% of the way figured out. Let's do it. That's not always the best, but it is a great way to function, in my opinion.
It is a strength in the way that you use it, right? I mean, so... and then I feel like I know that question's important to you, so it may be worth highlighting here. You said something to the effect of, we ask them like, what do you need? Mm-hmm. And I think that posture is important to you. I know I've heard you talk about it, so I wonder if you could share a little bit of like why that question matters to you.
Yeah, I never want to go into a place and assume that I know best because of the way that I was raised or whatever. Yeah. And so giving the people in it the ability to figure out what they need, and then we can come alongside. And even if they say like, this is the struggles, then we can help them come up with a plan. Yeah. But I always want to be in a place of giving a hand out, not a hand up. Nope. That's the opposite of what I want to do. I want to give a hand up, not a hand out. Yeah. And so part of that hand up is them having a say in it.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we figured it out. I love that. I know that question's important to you. I think like, church history, I mean, the larger conversation is kind of littered with churches with good intentions and some, I think a minority, but still maybe not so good intentions of bringing their thing to a place of just like, let me bring our what we think is best to you. And I appreciate, something I've learned here is like, that's really not the posture that we take. And if I'm being really honest, I feel like that's the better posture. Like,
absolutely.
Totally.
Right? So,
yeah.
Very cool. All right. So that's helpful to know what community development. It's just amazing because there's so much you do that we just don't see. Like you come on a Sunday and you go and you own the worship service and you leave and you just wouldn't know some of that if you weren't in the know. So this is why we do this, so people are aware of you. All right, Carlos.
Yo.
What's your title?
My title is Creative Arts Pastor.
Okay. So I think the question people are going to be wondering.
Yep.
You were worship pastor.
I was.
Creative Arts. Mm-hmm. All right. A lot of churches have these titles and whatever.
Yeah.
I'd love to know, as you talk about what you do, maybe talk about the difference between moving from being a worship pastor into a creative pastor.
Yeah. The difference to me, so what I do, again, creative arts pastor, is that I am in charge, or I overlook everything creative elements in the service. Mm-hmm. So I work alongside with Andy and the preaching team and other pastors that do vision to figure out what are some of the things that we can do in the service to help people connect in one way to the presence of God. So it's not just worship pastor. Typically, it's just music. Like I'm just in charge of picking the set list and figure out what songs we're singing and things like that. But creative arts, it's all of it. So you're talking about lights, you're talking about slides, you're talking about haze, you're talking about so many
Which was
different.
a little heavy.
I know we're
man.
we're testing something.
The
Okay,
kids
so
area was
we apologize.
smoking,
It's
dude.
just we're
What
just
the-
testing it out. But beyond those creative elements, we're also talking about like scriptures and testimonies and videos. Anything creative that goes into the service, I oversee. Yeah. So that is the difference there, and I absolutely love doing what I do. But at the end of the day, I'm just a guy that loves to sing and that loves to worship God and play the guitar sometime. So,
when's the first time you ever played music and that you can remember it being like, I love doing this in front of people? When did that? Do you have a memory of when that happened?
I think the very first memory that I remember playing, well, I have two memories. The first memory that I have of singing, I remember I started singing when I was 4 years old, but I don't remember that as much. My dad, okay, quick story. I know this is not what you asked, but my dad went through an evangelist phase, and he would he would go preach at some churches in the area.
He doesn't tell people about Jesus.
No,
anymore,
yeah,
but he went through it.
He would just go preach. He still does. He would just go preaching to churches, and then he found out that I could sing a little bit, and he would take me to sing with him. I think it's because I was a cute kid singing. Maybe a bigger offering. Who knows? We'll see. He's like, let me take this kid singing. No, but anyway, so I would go with him. But I remember singing with my brother. I was about 8 years old, and we sang for an event at the church in the Dominican. And I remember, man, I really love singing, and specifically worship music. I just love singing to God, and I love the feeling of involving and leading other people, helping them experience the same thing that I'm experiencing. And that's what we're trying to do when we step on stage, is trying to connect them, trying to give them an opportunity for them to connect with God and experience, a genuine relationship with Him in that moment. So
this is why we do this podcast, why we do this Meet the Pastors, because you don't get a chance to hear this stuff from you two on an everyday basis. So I love that people got to hear that. And from you, Allison, just like the motivation behind it. It doesn't feel like just a job for you guys. It feels like something that's coming out of like who you are. And I just love that. So to wrap up, we're almost done.
Oh, we're done already?
We're almost. Yeah, we got one more.
This
is
one
easy.
more
I told you this was quick. We didn't throw the heavy hitters this time.
Oh, man.
I told you your first podcast was way harder than this.
They gotta bring us back.
Well, no, Andy told me to keep them on a tight leash. Like, don't let them run amok with the mic. It's gonna go bad.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I just want to know, it's called a new season, our podcast, and really it's asking what's this last few months been like for you? How are you doing? And then I'll just put it all together.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to next? It could be personally, it could be professionally. So what's the last few months been like for you in this big transition? And then what are you looking forward to?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Oh, sure. No, I'm feeling great. I know with this new transition, I think that I had an advantage with the transition because I was already working with Andy very closely because of part of the preaching team, and he was over the teaching team. So I felt like my job didn't change as much, or my position changed as much when he became a lead, because I've built that trust and built that relationship with him from a couple of years before. Yeah. So really excited. I feel like God really is doing something in our church, and I feel like our congregation is open. I feel like our staff is open to step into whatever God is doing, and we're just trying to walk faithfully through it. So I'm excited about it. I feel like some cool things are happening, and we're just going to keep going.
Anything coming up in your world, either worship or
so
personally?
many things.
What's the big one? What are you excited about?
Oh no, one thing that is going to happen very soon. Actually, what's today? What's the date today?
Today is April 30th. We are recording on April 30th, but this is not going to go out this week. So whatever you want to say.
That's true. Okay, well, if this comes out, whenever it comes out,
you might have missed it.
Yeah, you might have missed it. But we do have a worship night on May 21st that is going to come up. That is coming up, and we're really excited about that. We have a leadership team from our creative arts team that is working on really creating a meaningful experience for people to come in and just sing. So I know Andy said it, I think last week, that whenever this comes out, Andy said in his message that people like to come for the message, but people really come for the worship. So I'm just kidding.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah, there's the truth. So for the worship night, it's just singing. It's going to be great.
I love it. Is there food?
No food. I'm sorry. No food. There.
Who asked that question?
Yeah.
I think that's on brand for me.
You might not be.
I don't know why anyone's surprised.
You might not be physically fed, but you'll be spiritually fed.
my
Woo,
goodness.
come on. Let's
I don't know
preach.
why we have to pick and choose. We could do both. All right, a little bit of maybe some Domino's wings would be nice.
Oh my goodness.
Allison, what's it been like for you? What are you looking forward to?
It's been great for me. I'm a big fan of Andy, and I am been very impressed on just how he's led in this season.
Yeah.
Every time there's a hard thing that comes up, he just leads with integrity, and he brings us along, and I appreciate it so much.
What's coming up that you're excited about?
We have summer camp, and so I am pumped. Summer is one of my favorite seasons. We get to be with students more than during the school year. We get to do some fun things with them. We got a 3D printer this year, and I think our kids are gonna love that.
What are some of the things you're gonna print? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay.
I have some great volunteers that run these things that we would love more volunteers if you want to come join us.
That's awesome.
But no, I don't. Okay. I just enjoy it.
This is the point in the year. May is the last time Allison and I see each other at work for a while, and then we just don't talk for like 6 weeks because we both have camp stuff that happens. So, no, the camp you're doing is awesome and pumped about it. So, guys, you survived. Great job.
We did it.
You did
Nice
it.
job.
Awesome job. Go Parkview. Tune in wherever you get your podcasts. And we have one more episode, Parkview Friends, before we'll kind of take a break for the summer. And then Andy and I will be back in the fall, possibly with a new theme song, Carlos. Maybe.
Yeah, we could get a new jingle.
doo-wop.
I've got some opinions.
Okay.
I got some opinions about it.
As long as you don't sing, we'll be okay. Oh my goodness.
We'll be okay. What?
He doesn't want you to sing it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm not singing.
Good
We're getting
Father.
out of here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time, Parkview.